Don't start making noise now, Missy. What? The window is open. What do you want? I can't play with you now. Sorry. Okay, cats and their demands.
Are you shaking your shoulders? Because I'm just sitting here looking like an idiot.
I'm shaking.
Hit the damn record.
Hit the damn record. He will record something.
Yeah. Hold on, who you bang, bang.
Premiumbeat.com.
Bang, bang.
Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
Welcome to the Unlikely Frenz Podcast.
Where two friends living abroad talk about race, race relations, and
How we feel about it, what it means to us.
everything in between.
A little bit of gossip sometimes.
So, dear friends, if you are watching us on YouTube and you are listening to us on Spotify and you follow us on Facebook, please like, share, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video. So, ding, ding, baby, ding, ding.
Ding. How are you, friend?
I'm not doing well because I don't like my hair and I'm going to take it down.
Oh, well, do you, man. It's all right. I'm here for it. You know, get yourself comfortable. I'm wearing elastic waist pants.
Well, there it is. Let my dreads free. Let them free. So that's what I want to do today.
Let them free.
Yeah. Before we start, I just want to say this up front. Today's conversation is a bit on the heavy side. So just a warning for you.
Yeah, it's not something that we talk about a lot, but we don't want to skim over it, and we don't really want to make it a soft subject either.
And what we're going to talk about today is about lynching after the abolishment of slavery and what came after freedom was declared.
When it was abolished, it didn't make everything okay. It wasn't like a magic spell. Like everything's fine now. No.
As we all know, slavery was abolished in 1865, at least on paper. It was abolished in 1865 where black people were free.
That scared a lot of, white people because black people were no longer property. They were identifying as something else. They were something else.
We were citizens. We were voters. We were workers. We were also, not a very large amount, but a small amount, were landowners.
You had rights and freedoms, and that created a backlash. Significant backlash.
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
When that backlash came about from white fear, if you will, lynching didn't just appear out of nowhere.
It was a response. It was a response to a black problem. It was a response to a black freedom problem. And it was a tool that was used to keep people in a system of control.
And when we hear lynching, they often imagine chaos or mob rage, which was something completely different.
No, it wasn't a random thing. And it was organized.
Not only was it organized, lynchings were public. That means everybody who could stomach it, anybody who was there for it, anybody who thought that type of abuse was okay, went. And it was not only white men, it was white women, it was also children, and it was a huge spectacles.
Well, there was like a schedule, like people were going there with a purpose to see this happening.
Yeah.
And people were taking photos. souvenirs were given out sometimes.
And this wasn't hidden violence either. This was out in the open. People taking pictures with a body.
Yeah, right. It was a spectacle. It was a spectacle for sure.
It was a spectacle.
For sure.
And apart from that, what were the accusations for them to be lynched?
I mean, the accusations were often, they were lies or major exaggerations or sometimes nothing at all, just because. If you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, like, share, and subscribe.
The biggest part of that was mostly Black men being accused of looking at a white woman or, standing next to a white. Most of these accusations came from white women.
I mean, it could just have been like people talking back or owning land, for heaven's sake. I mean, it just seems, I still can't believe that this happened, and it's still happening sometimes. But for being successful, even if you're a success, then
what was the word that you
reason.
taught me? You taught me this word a couple of podcasts, uppity, being uppity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That was a reason to be lynched. Definitely. I mean,
Definitely. I mean, sometimes these crimes were simply existing outside of the boundaries that were set for them. It's like, how dare you not be under my control anymore? How dare you be a landowner? How dare you have the right to vote? How dare you, walk the street that I walked so freely for, these 200 years that you were enslaved. So it was boundary breaking for them. What that cemented that fear for white people.
okay, and here's what we really, really need to understand. Lynching wasn't just about killing people.
Absolutely not. It was mostly about, we're going to let them know what we're about. It was about sending a message.
You're not free. You're not equal. You can't participate in the society that we have. And most importantly, you are not safe.
Most importantly, you are not safe. And that message wasn't just for the person being lynched.
It wasn't just for them. It was for the people that were watching. It was for all the families, all the children, everybody that could see this happening. They understood.
Absolutely. It was literally for anybody with dark skin. So,
right.
I mean, between the late 1800s and the mid 1900s, thousands upon thousands of Black people were lynched for the smallest of infractions or the smallest of crimes. And what was so horrible about this is that it went on for so long unchecked.
And there was no one that was accountable for any of this. I mean,
and not only that, law enforcement even participated.
Or they just like stood by and watched it happen, and nothing happened to those people that were basically, well, not basically, they were killing people.
Absolutely, they were killing people. What I also want to add to that is that some people say, well, why did lynchings happen after slavery? Again, it was just after slavery. If you understand, Black people were under the control of white people. Let's be real about it. I mean, that's history. So they didn't want to lose that control over Black people. I don't think that they cared so much that they were free. You say, yeah, you can be free if you want to be free, but still
be free over there.
us. Right.
Be free over there. Don't be free near us, please.
Right. You still gonna listen to us. Now, we talked about this, I think about 4 or 5 podcasts ago. It might even be more, where we talked about Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier was a town that was established by free enslaved people and
Yeah.
was decimated, by white fear, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Not white fear, jealousy.
I was
They
going
were
to say
jealous,
racism.
or just plain old racism. Yeah, that'll do.
This is
That'll do.
racism.
Yeah. So, I mean, lynchings
Yeah.
were a horrible, horrible thing. I mean, that, not only the fact that lynchings happened, but it was the fashion of who was lynched, how they were lynched, and for what reason they were lynched. That's what makes it the most horrific. If
Yeah.
someone had been lynched for committing a crime, a heinous crime, I think anybody would be on the side of that. But when people are lynched just to send a message like, you are not safe, we're going to burn this cross and you are not going to be safe, and we're going to hang you from the tree so you will never ever be safe in this country. And that sent a
Yeah.
message, that sent a hard message to most Black Americans. Lots of Black women were afraid to let their sons go outside because they were like, they're going to kill you. Lots of women were afraid to
Well, and he's
let their husbands go to work. They were afraid.
yeah. Well, I mean, rightfully so, especially if the police were just kind of sitting around and watching this happen
Yeah,
and not taking anyone in to be accountable for these awful, horrific things that happen to
absolutely.
people.
So when we hear the phrases like law and order, we have to ask, order for who? Because lynchings did not exist alone. It worked alongside those
Yeah.
Jim Crow laws. It was voter
Right.
suppression. It was segregation. It was also economic punishment.
Yeah. I mean, if you even tried to vote, you're done, you know?
And if you tried to organize, you're done.
No. And if you were successful, if you even like got to the point where you could organize, you're done. So what options do you have at that point?
And Black women were not spared from this.
Yeah, they were lynched too, definitely. Or I don't know. Is it worse or the same? It's equally terrible, assaulted or threatened or I mean, well, all the time erased from historical records.
Choose your dystopia.
Right, exactly.
I mean, this was
Which one?
terror. I mean, this terror is one of the reasons behind the Great Migration. And a lot of people don't know that, but the Great
Yeah.
Migration was a real thing, especially for Black Americans, because they were scared.
I mean, a lot of people left the South because they were escaping violence or obviously the threat of being lynched. Okay. But people didn't leave because they were chasing dreams. They were escaping violence.
Exactly. And even then, the terror did not disappear, it simply adapted. So here's the hard truth: lynching was not a failure, it was a part of the system. It was
Yeah.
enforced through racial hierarchy, through fear. And this is what people mean when they talk about generational trauma.
Sure. I mean, your mom and dad basically teaching you how to stay alive as a Black child. Communities learning that in that silence you have protection and survival tactics and strategies that are passed down generation to generation, like an inheritance.
Exactly. So when people say, "Oh, that was a long time ago," I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
wonder,
yeah,
it's like they're ignoring just
yeah, yeah.
how close this actually was.
Some of the last lynchings. I mean, we just had one. Unfortunately, we had one just. It was just last year. I
It
mean,
was
they're
just,
not.
yeah, it was just a couple of months ago. It was two black men were found hanging from a tree. It was just a couple of months ago. You're right.
So the history explains a lot of it, right? Like fear, the mistrust, the caution around all these new people that are now in our society living free among us, and maybe even anger and resentment towards these people.
Absolutely. I think the key word that you stepped on there was fear. It was fear, and this explains
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
why freedom never felt unconditional for, especially for black people, and why safety has never been assumed. So
Right, right,
the
right.
the abolition did not equal liberation. So you have to
And
have to
the violence didn't end there, you know? It just
right.
changed in some of its forms, in some of its ways. It certainly didn't end.
Because it didn't end, and remembering what happened to mostly black Americans isn't about guilt. It's more about the truth,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the truth is where accountability begins.
If we stop teaching the history and stop teaching about it, it
Absolutely.
doesn't it doesn't mean that that didn't happen. It doesn't mean it disappears, you know?
Right.
So what's the point? What's the use of saying, "Oh, I don't want my child to learn about that because it sounds really horrible and really I feel guilty about it," you know? I'm
Well,
sorry, but who cares?
who cares, because it disappears when we stop telling it honestly.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I had an argument actually with a colleague at university. He's also American. He We didn't have an argument, but it was more like a disagreement. He was saying, well, if somebody gets bullied in school, because of racism, they should be taught to rise above it and blah blah blah. And I said to him, I says, why do we have to rise above it? Why can't you or your people not do it? How come
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
taught to speak to people differently, to treat people differently? Why are we always having to deal with the coping mechanisms? So,
Yeah.
and that comes from it not being taught. It comes from, like you said, history doesn't disappear when we stop teaching it, and it disappears when we stop telling it honestly. So, I mean, it's messed up.
It is messed up.
Okay, friend.
Okay, friend. Thanks for chatting with me today,
Absolutely. It's always nice to chat with you.
even if it's heavy.
Even if it's heavy, it's necessary.
It is. It is. Yeah.
So, to all of our friends who are watching us on YouTube, listening to us on Spotify, and follow us on Facebook, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video. So, ding, ding, baby, ding, ding.
Dang. And have a fantastical week.
Thank you, and you too. Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.
Yeah.